The BeastNet Canadian Edition podcast is proudly brought to you by
Grit Farm Fitness. Here we discuss all things obstacle course racing related, as well as
endurance, conditioning, running, rucking, and much more.
Welcome to the BeastNet Canadian Edition.
On today's episode, we talk to Genevieve Cholette, Melisa, Joyal, and Kathleen Wee. They are just a few of the crazy Canucks that ran the 24-hour virtual World's Toughest Mudder, and that I had the pleasure of pitting for and hanging out with in person and virtually in a rather large Zoom chat over the November 14th weekend. Let's get into the recap, eh?
How y'all doing since last weekend?
Cold. It's cold. It's like,
guys
it's almost like we got cold on Saturday night, and then the world just kept getting cold, and now I haven't gotten warm again since.
Oh,
I know, I haven't really been warm at all. Plus, still a bit gimpy.
Yeah?
But, no.
How about you, Jen?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
Not my first rodeo, she says.
Well, I mean, I kind of did 25 miles and then stopped after 8 hours. I'm not like Kathleen and Mel that kept going past 50 or past. So
25 is still pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, 25 is still a lot more than a normal person.
Exactly.
Yeah, with no training, right?
Well,
yeah,
you train all the time, but no specific training for that event.
No mileage training for that at all.
The most mileage I've had was with Jen in August when we went hiking.
Oh, shit, that's right.
That's the only mileage I've had.
And 75K and in 5 days. That was pretty good.
5 days. I did that now in 24 hours almost. But that's the most mileage I have. I don't run more than 10K.
Yeah. Well, you guys all did phenomenal last weekend. It was a great time. Did you guys all meet the goals that you were looking to get to?
I think so. I mean, for me, it was I just did that 50 miler at Alley's in summer, right? So I really wasn't planning on doing any other ultras, except Richard basically sent me a message saying, guess what I did? And I'm like, oh, crap. I guess I'm in. Never really thought about goals other than, you know what, let's just have fun and survive. So I think I kind of survived okay.
Oh, you did awesome.
Yeah, so I had fun.
I wasn't planning on much at all either because I don't run very much. I run regularly, but up to 10K, never more. So I was when I signed up for the one in Dallas, I had set the goal of 40 miles because I just turned 40, so I was 40 for my 40th. But then that was canceled, so I gave up even training or bothering with anything with endurance. And then I was well, I might as well try for 40. If I don't make 40, whatever, it's fine. I don't really care. 25 was kind of my goal. Then I got to 40, and I'm well, I guess I could do a couple more. Just kept going
awesome.
because I could.
Because you basically got to 40 by midnight?
Yeah, I think I was done at 10:30ish. I was in bed by midnight.
So you got a
take
good
a nap
sleep.
and then went back.
Yeah, totally. I saw you and Richard sprinting over as we were passing each other, and I'm I'm really jealous right now. You guys are moving pretty fast.
my last 2 laps, or my last lap was actually faster than all except for my first.
Wow, that's impressive.
So was Richard's, right?
Yeah, I was going to say Richard Bolton was running with us all night, and he said kind of the same thing you guys were saying at the beginning. I don't go more than 10K. I'm going to do
Bolton trains with me.
Yeah, well, he said, I'm going to do maybe 2, maybe 3, but I doubt it. I'll probably just get 2 done. And what did he end up getting in the end? He got
35.
Yeah, he got 35.
He did the first 2 with me, and we got our first lap at 51 minutes, and our second one was just around an hour mark. And then we sort of separated towards the end of that one, and then he took it a bit slower, and I just kept going.
I think his second to last lap was about an hour 40 or so. And he came in and I hadn't set up his Yeah.
No, his second last lap was with me.
Yeah.
We started and finished together, and we did it in 1:13.
Oh, okay. Was it that close? I thought it was longer. He thought it was longer than that too. He was worried that he wouldn't be able to get his last lap done in an hour and a half. And I hadn't set up his cups yet. I hadn't even thought about it. And he was out and I was working with you and everyone else. And then he came in and he's like, oh, now I'm not going to be able to make it at all. And I said, no, man, you can make it if you want to. Just get out. And he looked at his watch and he was like, nah, I'm not going to be able to make it because, Mel was the one that was out there and she was pushing me. And I said, just go out anyways and just do it for yourself. It doesn't matter if you finish the lap on time. If you want to get one more in, go in and get it in. And then he goes out and freaking knocks it out of the park.
Yeah. Well, so what he did, so he started about 6 or 7 minutes after me. He chased me down. He caught me.
Yeah, I saw him run out of the complex.
Laps, and he actually ran and chased me and caught me.
That's nuts.
So we finished together.
His last lap was his fastest lap by far.
His first lap was 20 minutes faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of the longer distance laps, yeah. I guess. Okay, yes, that is true.
The first 2 laps, he was faster because he was with me too for those first ones. But yeah, he did. It was because he had that rest. He's not. Yeah. He can get up and go again. That's the thing. That's where it was. Is having that rest. Same with me. We took 6 hours. I took 6 hours off. He took 8 hours off. Actually, maybe I only took 5. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I took 6 hours off. He took like 8 hours off. So we had that refreshed legs. That was why.
Yeah. Kathleen, who were you? You were running with Ken Marine most of the time. How was that? Yeah. Were you guys together, or were you guys just kind of bumping into each other out there, or?
No, we basically decided to buddy up for safety that night.
Yeah.
Because there were a number of coyotes that we kind of bumped into on trail, and we just kept each other company. Honestly, I don't think I would have gone out for my 11th lap if it wasn't for him. He was the one who was planted in my ear that 50 is awesome because it's a nice round number, it's 8 kilometers, but wouldn't it be amazing if we got 55 because that's a double marathon? But you can't stop there because 60 is 100K, and isn't that even better? And I'm like, oh man, really?
It's like, but you don't get anything for 55.
I know, exactly, right? So I'm like, no, 55 is the double marathon, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
It's a little over a double marathon, and then 60 is 100K, but you don't get your silver bib until 75. So I'm like, I don't know, dude, like honestly.
That's a little ways away.
Yeah, but I was already kind of like, my ankle was really buggered by lap 10. So I was like, I really don't know Ken. He's like, come on, you can do it. Luckily Craig convinced me to just kind of rest and see where how I would feel after about an hour and a half, or like after resting a little bit. And so I took a quick cat nap, and sure enough, when I woke up,
like, what time did you start lap 11?
We started at 5:30 in the morning.
Okay, so you guys came in like at 4 a.m. and then you took like a break after your 10th, and then you went out at 5:30.
Yeah, so I think we came in shortly after, like around 3 a.m. after our 10th lap. Because we both got we both got into some physical trouble like fairly early on. Those squats did a number on our legs.
Yeah, you guys were hobbling like Ken was. I saw Ken going out for like the lap after those, and I was like, whoa, are you okay?
Well, Ken pulled something on his like first or second squat, if I remember correctly. He's like, oh, there goes something.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that happened to him.
Yeah, so I think it was like the first or second one, something right on the inside of the hamstring or something. Just he's like,
it was like the hamstrings and adductors, I heard, but like I was shocked because I think it was like on my 4th lap, we kind of headed out together, and I was still jogging fine. I didn't feel any effects of the squats until like maybe the 2nd lap after that. But like we were together by the light, and then he kind of jogged a little bit and then stopped and started walking, and I kept jogging. I'm like, this is a really weird sensation. Like, how am I passing Ken? And I just kept going, and I'm like, this feels really, really, really wrong. I felt really bad at a certain point. I'm like, you know what? He's going to catch up to me after he's had a rest and stuff.
I
But yeah,
think you
no,
were in front of him for quite a few laps, to be honest, at the beginning, if I recall.
Yeah, you were, Kathleen, because I couldn't catch you, but at one point I caught Ken because he was walking, so he is having so much trouble walking.
yeah, and then he picked it up for the baby shark lap, as did I, and I'm like, after that, I'm okay to hobble along.
Wouldn't you?
My
What?
lap was so much faster then too. It's really funny.
Get it out of my head.
It's just like, oh, it was brutal. But yeah, we ended up just, kind of traveling together just for safety and just hobbled along until we didn't have enough time to complete another lap. I think we completed lap 10 at around 3 a.m., finished the challenge, and then I had to rest. And I told him, if you want to go out, just please, please, please be careful. But he ended up staying by the fire, woke up, and he was still like asleep. So I'm like, hey, do you want to go out for another lap? And so we ended up on for one final lap at around 5:30. Yeah.
What
That
would
was awesome.
what would you say was the toughest challenge? Was it the not the burpees, but the lunges, or not the lunges? I guess I can't even think right now. Yeah. What would you say was the toughest for you?
Honestly, it wasn't any of the challenges. I've done 100 squats before, but I think it was, for me, it was a lot of the pavement running. So I'm really glad that Melissa actually found a route that was predominantly gravel. I was fine on the gravel actually, but that lap, that 8th lap, basically just
That was tough.
killed me. That's when I really started to feel everything ache, because it was all on pavement. I felt it in my ankles. I felt it in my knees, and I was so bored. Like I was kind of zombie walking the whole way, and I felt myself kind of veering towards the bush at one point. I'm like, okay, I need coffee now.
The bushes are gonna be soft. Maybe I could just lay in them for a little bit.
I was dozing off so badly. It was ridiculous.
That's why I had different drinks with me through it just to keep me up. I had tea. I had a beer at one point.
I remember that. I ended up having coffee.
Yeah.
As I was going along, because it was so boring. That was the hardest one. I have to say, that lap did me in, because I didn't mind going through the entire loop, 8 kilometer loop by the lagoon. I had no problems with that. It was just that 300-meter lap that just was mind-numbingly boring.
Mm-hmm.
I found
Yeah,
that
it was
dark.
it was tough not having the excitement from World's Toughest Mudder, like all the people and the
Yes.
noise and the different sections. Like, it's funny because you don't think about it when you're going, and you get uplifted. Like, we needed a DJ booth like somewhere around that lake to keep us motivated.
That would have been
You
neat.
have
We
the
could have
docs.
just thrown somebody over there in the bushes so it didn't bother anyone, and just have them scratching away. You guys got this.
I had my music the whole time. That really helped. Having music, except the baby shark laugh. Even then, I found the heavy metal version, and that actually saved me. At first, I kept trying to find versions that didn't bug me, but then I found the heavy metal one, and actually didn't mind it. I got kind of into it, and I like it now.
For me, going without the hype wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest, because I normally train alone, and at a certain point, I normally only really buddy up with 1 or 2 people. And then you just kind of go along the course. And I kind of like those moments where you kind of have to you get a chance to kind of stop and look around you. Like, basically, when Ken and I were out there, we just track the stars in the night sky, which is kind of interesting. And I've been doing that ever since I started Worlds. It's kind of nice. And yeah, you just kind of, I like to take things in as I kind of go along the course. For sure, the energy when you get back to the pit was very uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
And I really missed the bagpipes. I actually have to admit, I really missed the bagpipes this year.
Yeah, not having John Copper there. They had him on the Zoom, and I guess he did some playing at the beginning there, but then that was it. And it's not with you, right? So yeah, it's tough. I definitely didn't feel as much electricity in the air as I have at past World's Toughest that I've been at, but you know, we made our own and we did a really good job having, you know, Mel, thank you for putting it together and allowing us to do it at your place, because I think if we had all done it separately, it would have sucked a hell of a lot more and we probably wouldn't have gone as far either. You know?
I definitely wouldn't have done the last 2 laps at night. There's no way I would have done them. If Kathleen and Ken weren't still out, I would not have gone at all. It was because I was going to do the next lap with Kathleen to partner up, but then it turned out that was her 300-meter one, and I still had one more before that. But because I was going to do that, that actually got my gear together. That actually made me put my stuff on and start going, or else I wouldn't have. I was sitting down and chatting and roasting marshmallows, and I'm like, no, okay. They came and said, Kathleen's back. Are you going to go? I said, yes. And so I got up and I went. And so at least I did. So, or else I never would have got to 50. I probably wouldn't have. I might have made my 40 still, because by that point I was at 30 and I still could have done 2 in the morning. But yeah, definitely wouldn't have made 50. We didn't have people around.
Yeah. Wow. So Jen, what's next for you?
Nothing.
Well, like, think long term. I know nothing, but like, you know, let's pretend something's gonna happen. What would you like to go to next?
Where are we hiking next? What's our next hiking adventure? I have yak tracks. We can do this.
Well, I mean, like, there's hiking next year in the summertime for sure, but I mean,
winter
like,
hikes. Come on. Winter
well,
gear.
I'm gonna be snowshoeing this winter. I'm gonna be doing like more snowboarding and snowshoeing, like between Whistler and Mount Washington and things like that. But even then, like, I mean, I really like that World's Toughest Mudder is in Vegas next year, and I'm really excited. Yeah,
I am so mad.
because my goal.
That's right, Vegasona.
Because my goal was to get 65 miles this year, which would be 100K. But when everything went to shit, it was like, okay, there's no, like, what's the point of this? So then it's been kind of nice to be able to focus on like the mental training this year. And now it's like, okay, I think I know what I need to do to get ready for that. So I'm going to like start gearing up for that. Because if I can do, because like I did the 25 miles, which is about like 40, that's about 40K on no training. So that's about like where you want to be to get ready for that 100K. So training wise, like that should work out really well. And now in my brain, I'm not going to sign up for anything. Like there's no worlds, there's no big things. Like, I mean, even Spartan right now, there's nothing in BC. I don't even think Kimberly's on the docket at all, which is like, okay.
No, I think they've got something. I think it's in Golden, but I'd have to check again.
Yeah, they say it's in Golden. Was it not there anymore?
I don't know. And I'm not going to the States because just for my work anyway, like I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks on my way back. So there's just no point. Like,
yeah.
So it's kind of nice to be able to say, okay, well, I'm going to get 100K ready for a year from now. Like in my brain, I'm like, I can do that. I can put myself together for that.
Do you think
that the Rocky Mountain, they do have the Rocky Mountain trifecta weekend is July 17th for Spartan now. And then Red Deer is in August now. So in Whistler, they have Whistler in October.
The Rocky Mountain one should be the golden one, no?
Yeah, Rocky Mountain should be golden.
Yeah. They put it back. It had been gone. Now they've changed it to a trifecta weekend. That's recently because I was always up to date. But yeah, I'm in for all of those. I mean, and by the spring, and I mean, the U.S. in theory, things will be better and the quarantine may not be required. So I'm looking.
We can only hope. You know, we were talking about maybe going to Whistler in January. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, we gotta book that.
Jen, you were saying that you're trying to maybe gear up for 100 next year. What if you can't get to World's Toughest and we do another virtual? Do you think you'd be able to do it at the virtual next year?
Yeah, like I'm a planner personally, and I feel like Kathleen is the same way. Like,
oh yeah,
you want to set it up, and I think the thing that's pissed me off the most about COVID this year is that I felt like I couldn't plan. Like I was just waiting this whole time to find out something. And I didn't like that. Like it was very stressful and very annoying. So in my brain, I can be like, okay, if it's on, I'll be ready. If it's not on, I'm going to have a contention, like like I'm gonna do it no matter what. Like I felt like, Kathleen, didn't you do that pretty much with your 50? It
Yeah.
was your 50 mile. You were like, I'm in, and if it doesn't happen, I'm still in.
Yeah, and that was the extent of my planning. So that's why, like, for Worlds this time, I was like, well, crap, I know I can do 50, but do I want to push to 50? If it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But for sure, like, that one was the only thing that I had planned on doing. I wanted a 50 mile at some point this year, and that was actually the A race of the year, and so kind of that's why this was a bonus. But
Yeah.
definitely
That's the opposite. I don't plan anything. I wing it. I generally just wing it and see what I can do. I'm terrible for that.
Well, what's next for you, Kathleen?
Worlds next year. It's always the A.
Well, there's got to be something before then that you're looking forward to, no?
Well, I did think of doing and I still have a ticket to do Golden Ultra Beast if it does happen. Everything is in
You've done an Ultra Beast before, Kathleen?
I've never done an Ultra Beast, no.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I hope I finish. We'll see.
You'll definitely finish. Oh my god.
In time, I have no idea. But like, now that I kind of trained up a lot more in terms of endurance, I want to test it out. But yeah, everything is an if. But that would be the earliest kind of race that I would do. And then potentially a Ragnar relay if it ends up happening. And then Worlds in the toughest. I'm always going to try and get my Holy Grail, if at all possible, but that's about it for me.
Are you getting your Holy Grail this year, Kathleen?
No, I didn't do toughest.
Ah,
Yeah, because the toughest this year was just a week before my 50 miler. So that would not have been the wisest thing to do, even though I was like, ooh, I want to do it. And Alex was like,
just go do 2 laps, but
Well, what if I pull something and I can't? And that was like the main goal was get that.
Not
Could be like Jen, who does a 5-day or 6-day hike and then does it anyway the next day, just continuing on the multi-hike.
Yeah.
I still don't know how you didn't fall apart.
It was so funny. I was in ask Ryan, like I was in like beast mode shape for that toughest. Like I was just killing it.
Yeah.
She and I have just finished hiking. I did 5 days. She did 6 days. And
7.
I was like, I'm done. And then, and she just keeps, she decided to go do that. I'm like, okay, don't break yourself. Have fun with that. I'm laying by at my friend's cabin on the lake.
But you know what? Like the hiking, that was my biggest thing that I was pumped up for, was to hike 100K in 7 days. So after that, like I just felt like on top of the world. Like that was huge. I've done multi-day hiking, but that's pretty like intense. And the terrain that we did was like, that was very technical, lots of elevation. There were definitely like, and those big days, those 3 big 20K days, those were challenging 100%. Like a part of me wants to still do something like that again next year. And
I'm going to do the other section next year, so we'll do that.
Sorry?
I want to do the other section next year.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe we can convince Kathleen to come on in on this.
Yeah. Come join us. Multi-day hiking. It's the new thing.
Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing around,
That's what
I
we
might
did
be
also. We did Golden Years overnight. Jen and I did that one too. So we'll do more like that. They're fun.
I know Charity just registered for the winter CMTR event.
Yeah.
Are any of you doing that?
I am signed up for that. Yeah.
No.
No.
It's fun. It's a motivator. I need a reason to run. So at least it gives me a reason. It gives me something to do. And then Richard and I compete against each other to like, okay, we got to get this one today. And yeah.
If there wasn't so much running, I think it would be fun. Just give me all the other fun stuff. I'll just do that instead. Charity can go run for me.
Yeah.
Actually, go ahead.
I like to treat my off season as a true off season, and I've been really looking forward to not having anything else on the calendar.
Yeah.
What's an off season?
My whole
actually
year
was
was an
really
off
looking
season.
forward to that.
I don't think I've had an off season ever.
Sorry, Kathleen. What did you say?
I was really looking forward to this off season as well. So I think I was actually mentally and physically done after my 50 miler, to be quite honest. I have no idea how I pulled off-world stuff as mother, because I was like, after that, I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to train today. Like there were some days where it was really hard to get my butt out the door for like a run, or like even the World Series OCR race series that I was doing with Flavio, even those got really difficult to just finish off. If it weren't for Flavio, I wouldn't have done as well as I did. But he like really pushed. But other than that, I was like, yeah, can I go back to like just training 3-4 days of the week rather than 5-6 days of the week? I was done.
So I think if either of you want to do the Beast Ghost 14-hour challenge with me next weekend, I need to get that done before the end of November, and I just don't want to do it alone.
14 hours.
I was going to do it tomorrow, but my ankle is still a bit. I couldn't drive until yesterday because my ankle flexion. So I decided maybe I should wait until maybe next weekend. So
yeah,
you guys sure? It's not.
Oh yeah, good luck with that, Mal.
I'm pretty gimped right now. I have to go see physio for my knee. There's something going on with that.
It's not running, at least. It's like it's rucking. Rucking has become my thing. So I have that, and I have Swanson Grit challenges. Anybody, if you get a chance, the Swanson Grit, they're like hurricane heats, except better socially well, actually, in the hurricane heats this year were excellent with social distancing. And so, but Swanson Grit has them here in Vernon. I'm in Vernon currently. Well, they're in Armstrong, but it's basically running around, walking around, some running, carrying heavy things through the woods. Pretty fun.
Yeah, but then I am tiny. You know that, Mel. Like heavy carries
They
are
have
the
you
bane of
carry
my
your body weight.
existence.
He
What?
sets it as your weight. It's 20% of your body weight, so it makes it fair to smaller people versus Spartan where you have a set weight. Yeah.
You may be small, but you got a big heart, Kathleen.
Aw, thanks, Ryan.
And now we're going to take a quick pause for a word from our sponsors.
We'll be right back, eh?
Do you like destination racing?
Are you looking for an endurance event where you can camp under the stars and be surrounded by nature and be with your friends?
Perhaps staying in an on-site cozy B&B is more your style.
Well, look no further.
Grip Farm Fitness has it all and more.
Located just 2 hours northeast of Vancouver in the beautiful Fraser Valley.
Participate in one of their events or just come out for hiking, horses, or much more.
Book any activity your heart desires at www.grit-farm.com.
That's www.grit-farm.com for our Canadian listeners, eh?
And now, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program.
Welcome back, eh?
Well, awesome. I really hope we all get to continue to see each other. This whole thing it sucks, but I understand it at the same time. I am hoping we do get together in Whistler, and maybe there's going to be a few little 5Ks that we can all do this year in Cloverdale. I know 1 or 2 have booked the grounds, so there might be something happening, but we'll see. I really hope that it. I know it's kind of hitting back again. Everyone said it was going to when it got colder, so I'm just hoping that we get to come back down again and start seeing each other.
Right, so I'm not going to see you for beer.
Oh, well, the occasional beer.
On the 23rd, I'll see you on the 23rd for beer, I'm assuming.
The bylaws didn't say, or the guidelines didn't say you couldn't go for a beer with your friends. It just said they couldn't come to your house for beer. So,
I'll see you on Friday. Next Friday.
So, I changed the rules up to fit me how I feel fit,
Yeah. Well, if that doesn't work, the 23rd is when they're supposed to be lifted, so I'll see you for beer then.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes too, right? But
yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll all see each other. Like, there's all kinds of. I'm doing still virtual challenges, and I'm still doing rucking and endurance stuff just to keep moving. I'm not running. I'm not trying to compete for anything. It's about finishing and staying strong. So
Mhm.
as I said, I don't run. Running's not like I'll run up to 10K maybe twice a week. That's all I got. The rest of the time I'm usually carrying stuff up mountains. So we can all do that. You can join. You don't have to run, Ryan. You can hike.
That is true. I do enjoy hiking. Keep telling Jax we got to go. I do have snowshoes, so Jen, we're definitely going to go hit I haven't even been able to use them yet, so I would like to.
Hey, Kathleen's in on the snowshoeing too, I hear.
Oh yeah.
I'll use my yak pack.
Snowshoeing.
Have you guys done any snowshoe races? That's a big thing in Ontario. I haven't seen any out here though yet.
I'll waddle my way through a race. I don't know how to like run in snowshoes. I'll hike in snowshoes.
Oh, that's funny.
I can imagine everyone just waddling like ducks up the hill.
It's so true. It's
Exactly how I
so
feel.
funny. You're like trying to get up the hill and then you're like dying just a little bit.
From a distance, it'll look like, a flock of ducks just waddling up, ducklings.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone following Mama Duck.
Yeah.
Mama duck. Well, we could do one where, because there is a race up in the Yukon, and I remember a bunch of us tried training with it because we had one person that we knew, and it's like, I think it's 100 miles, and you got to pull a sled.
What?
Oh yeah, you guys
You have
should
to
look up.
pull
It's
a-
an ultra in Whitehorse, or it's somewhere in the Yukon, and you got to carry. It's like a 24-hour or multi-day, and you have to have all your stuff on your sled just in case you run into problems, so that you're self-sufficient. But that's what we did. We were like running around this field with our snowshoes, pulling a sled.
No, it's a sled pull. It's Spartan training. You got sled pull involved. Perfect. It's part of my training.
It's really funny, like super funny.
The sled too. That's just cruel.
Well, if you guys know, there's people that I think it's usually skiers, but you take your skis, I think it's called skimo or something, and you climb the hill, and then you pop on, and you have your skis on your back, and then you pop your skis on, and you go down, and like we've been doing it.
That's backcountry skiing. That's how Eric skis. He has skins.
Yeah.
He skins up, either snowshoes up or skins up, depending on the conditions, and then skis down. That's what he does.
Yeah, like
He
it's
does that in Squamish or all over. That's Eric's thing, not mine though.
we always did it back in Ontario and in Quebec because we were cheap. We didn't want to pay for the lift pass, so we climbed the damn mountain ourselves. Like, this is fine, but by the third time, you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm going home.
Yeah.
And can we just nap on this sled that I had to carry and just go down the hill on it?
Yeah.
I just hate hills. Going up hills, no, not my thing. I do it, but I'd really prefer not to.
I remember the one time, and I do not even know why I did this. I hate doing the grouse grind. Every time I do the grouse grind, I say I'm never going to do it again. But Jax and my wife and kids wanted to go up to the mountain, and I said, you know what? I'm going to head up ahead of you and do the freaking grouse grind and meet you at the top. I don't know what I was thinking. But I went and did it. I'm like, I don't know. Like, something has changed in my life, going from sitting on a couch to, hey, I'm bored, I'm going to go do the grouse grind.
My mom always taught me, if God had intended for us to do the grouse grind, he wouldn't have made a perfectly good gondola.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. I've still never done the grouse grind.
What?
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
The BCMC trail that runs kind of parallel or weaves in and out is much better.
I was going to say, Jen, if anything, we should go do the grouse grind up and then come back down the BCMC trail. That's what Jax and I did. Just don't do it at night like what we did. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we brought like a couple headlamps because we knew we wouldn't get up before it got dark, but we went up and I think we went to go see the fireworks or something. I can't remember. And then we took the BCMC trail down and his headlamp kept conking out.
Mm-hmm.
Not fun because it's just a little cut. Oh, and there's drops and it was entertaining, that's for sure. Sliding down the side of a mountain with like one working headlamp. Yeah, don't do that. Leave early.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Hey, I got a question. Go back to World's Toughest Mudder. Are you ladies getting like brown bibs for your 50 milers?
Yeah, I think we are.
I guess so. I don't know.
Do you know, Ryan?
I've
they're
heard
getting-
that they're supposed to be
They send
sending
it
them
down.
out afterwards.
So
Holy.
if you entered all your details, like, put your stats on the leaderboard and you did get 50, you will get a brown bib. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Shit.
Did you have to pay extra, or are they just gonna send that? I thought you had
No,
to
I
pay
didn't pay
for
extra.
some extra awards package or something, no?
No, because
So-
if you paid for the full thing, so like we get like the vest and like the T-shirt and everything too. If you
Yeah,
paid the full
okay, yeah. I think if you paid for that, then you'd get your bib.
Yeah.
If you just
Like it's
paid
a
for the
full
entry,
swag
you don't.
package.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what it
like
was.
because we all didn't get our vest, which I was sad because I was very excited for that vest that's
I
coming in.
know.
It'll be here December, they said. Hopefully before Christmas.
That'll be fun.
I guess because
Yeah, 'cause-
the shirt has the names on it. They're putting anyone's names on it. That's why you're.
Yeah, I remember them talking about. I love when they do that. That just makes me
I
so
know.
happy.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
still
man.
have my big blanket from when I got my trifecta.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Cool. It's funny. I like the Holy Grail this year. Like it's a medal with like the
I
Holy
saw
Grail
that.
skull.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, if they give me one, because, well, I'm glad they did it because a lot of those chalices were breaking on delivery last year. Like I saw tons of that on Facebook. So this year I was like, please don't send me this damn chalice because it's probably not going to make it in one piece.
So are you gonna get the Holy Grail, Jen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which challenge did you do?
All of them.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
I literally was that person that signed up. I was like, $750 for all the challenges and all the swag. Hell yeah.
Oh, did they make you have to do one of the challenges also to get the Holy Grail? I thought it was just the 3 regular ones.
No, you had to pick between August or September, and then you had to do a toughest, and then you had to do World's Toughest to get to qualify. And since they came out, I've been doing them, so it's kind of cool. Like, it's funny, me and Mel were talking about this, and I'm okay with, like, I like the little medals that I get. They're kind of cool. They're like little, like I'm definitely I can like,
They're the coins, right? Like.
yeah, they're a little bit bigger than coins though, but they are pretty cool. Like I just finished, and then sometimes you get like extra stuff. Like I'm waiting for my Marvel swag because October was the Marvel
That
one.
one I wanted to do. I wanted to do the Marvel one. I had planned to, but I couldn't figure out how to get it. I just didn't do it. I didn't end up doing it.
Yeah. And then right now it's called Sea to Sky. It's like it's sponsored by the Navy, I think, and it's like all kinds of military oriented stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I don't know what they're gonna do for December. They're not hard, like Brian knows. Like the challenges are not that difficult, and I mean, like I get stuff done just by being active. I was doing a bunch of cycling right now.
There's been a lot of challenges that we've had to beta test that you haven't come across yet. So, there's some fun ones coming up, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll see.
I'm not allowed to say what they are, but they're fun.
I definitely understand why a lot of people haven't done them because they're very, like, I would call them very easy. They're nothing kind of crazy.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay the price for something that kind of silly. It's like simple. I like to do my virtual challenges as part of my training for like strength training or whatever. These weren't, it didn't seem to be. That was kind of my thing about it. But
yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, like, I think had I had known what was in, like, how the challenges were going to be, because I thought that it would be a little bit more and more relatable, but yeah, it's a completely different thing. I don't know if I would have signed up, but at the same time, I don't mind because I have saved so much money in races this year.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, it's so funny.
A lot on virtual challenges. It's just I haven't spent as much on the travel, but so many virtual challenges.
Yeah.
So many.
I have an account that I usually pay for most of my stuff out of. I'm weird. I have like 9 bank accounts just so I can easily keep track of what money is for what. And yeah, my race account is It's like, wow, I really need to go do some races soon. Or the one race I'm going to do, I'm going to be a baller at, man. I'm going to get like a penthouse suite. I'm going to get first class there and back. You know, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I feel like you're in a position, Ryan, that I feel bad because weren't you supposed to do your 10th Tough Mudder in Australia,
Yeah.
which was the same weekend as World's Toughest Mudder last year, which didn't happen. And then you've been waiting to do your 10th Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
And then there was the shutdown and then COVID.
We went from not being able to do it in Australia, which sucked, but, you know, whatever, it happens. And, you know, it was more a family thing anyways, but we went there to go get our 10th. You know, I'd do it again. To coming home going, okay, well, at least I'll be able to do it in Seattle. Or maybe we'll even wait until Whistler. And then, you know, Whistler got canceled. Seattle got closed from COVID. And we're like, when are we ever going to get our 10th? But
exactly.
it'll happen. You know, I'm really hoping it'll happen next year in Seattle because Whistler's not happening here. So, but we'll see. You know, it is what it is. You know, it's so close.
Think that's
I know we'll
crazy.
get it eventually. Both Charity and I, you know, she was like, oh, I'm going to go to... She's trying to go to Tough for LA, I believe it is, or Toughest.
Oh, Toughest LA in April.
So if she does, then I'm going too, because no hell way is she going to get to number 10 before I do. I'm going to come and do it too. So
actually, you know what? Now that you mentioned it, Jen, I think World's Toughest this year was supposed to be my 10th as well. Yeah.
You missed out too.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
I know. Oh well.
yeah, whatever. We've got so many other things. Like, look at what I got. You know, I got enough back here that I can deal with that, and there's all the other ones over here still. You know, but I do want to get that one on top of there that says right up here. You know, number 10 will go right on top. So you know, but whatever. It is what it is, and we'll get around to it eventually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It'll happen.
I think my 10th Tough Mudder was my first World's Toughest Mudder. That was my 10th Tough Mudder ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually.
I've
And
only
then last
done
year,
2, 3. Yeah.
well, you're a Spartan
Yeah.
chick, so you know,
Girl. Yep.
nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
But my first Tough Mudder was toughest in Texas. I
Oh,
never did a regular Tough Mudder. I went straight to the toughest. Like not the world's toughest, but yeah. My first ever.
8 hour.
was-
8
yeah,
hour
it was the
toughest
8 hour
one.
one.
I heard
did
a
you
lot
do
of
that
people
one too,
doing it.
Kathleen?
No. My first.
But you've
toughest
done
was
it, Texas.
Boston. I did Dallas as a toughest. That was last year.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the first 12-hour one actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what month was that one? Do you remember for Dallas?
That was September.
Mine was in May. I did mine in May.
Yeah, but yours was 2018, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that year I did Boston toughest, and that was my first toughest event. And then that was still 8 hour. And then the year after that, they made it 12.
Yeah.
And then I did that in Dallas. And it was in September. I think it was like the last weekend of September, but it was still like boiling hot. Like we started the race at 8 p.m. and it was still 28 degrees. And I was sweating. I actually stayed a little bit longer at Arctic Enema just because I was so hot.
What? Wait. That's what? So somebody stayed in Arctic Enema longer to help.
I was very slow. I was intentionally slow getting through it because I'm like, oh my God, this feels so amazing. Right?
Yeah.
This is so nice.
It was the same thing in LA. So I did the 8 hour LA toughest when it was during the day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I
wish
saw
I'd
you
done
after
that.
you were so burned.
Oh my God. I was sunburnt. My
Oh my
skin
God.
was like I was like a lizard skin. That's what I was saying. But we were
Oh.
the same way. We were hanging out in Arctic Enema. We were like, oh.
It's like, okay, ladies, you got to move through the obstacle. Let's go.
It's so nice. Clogging it up. Oh.
30
God, that was
seconds.
so
That's it.
funny.
In and out. Go. Oh, goodness. Oh, Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Hmm.
Well, I still have, there's still stuff going on. We'll get to other.
Oh yeah, there's stuff all over the place. And that's the great thing about our community and all of us is that we still chat even online and kind of like, hey guys, there's this thing going. Here's a link to it. And everyone's like, oh, I didn't know about that one, and I know Allie is going to try and do a few more little races at her place. We've even talked her into like trying to do like a tougher or toughest at her place, or even a like hell do worlds at your place. She's like, no, I don't think about worlds, but she's talked about make it like holding bigger things at her place. So as they work on their land more and more and have more people come and they do more successful races, I think it's going to be a thing, because even Spartan is now starting to do Spartan races at her ranch or at her farm, right? So
What?
Is that
Really?
still happening?
yeah, I don't know if it's still happening, but it was going to happen. So there was going to be something there. So
They did have it. I was talking to Dallas. They did have the virtual ones, like the one-off kind of bunch of people get together to the virtual. They did a couple, but it's so far to come up for a virtual race. It's a bit too far. So like 2.5 hours from the city is a bit much for a virtual super.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought she lived pretty far, because I remember like I was gonna go to one event, because I don't know why. I just thought that she wouldn't be that far, but then I looked and I was like, holy shit! Like it would take me all day to get there between the ferry and that.
I used to live up there. I lived up there for like 6 months, and it's hard to get back to Vancouver.
Yeah, she has a lot of space. So if you decide to go, you can just crash there overnight. And she would love to have most of us stay there with her. She runs her own bed and breakfast, and she's got trailers and stuff. So yeah, she like that's go to her website, Grip Farm Fitness, and check it out. You can rent a little room from her, and even if you help her out with say you're going to come and help out with the farm, maybe she'll even give you a better deal or something, right? Like, hey, while I'm there, I'll help feed your horses or something, but that's what she does. They do like horse getaways and stuff like that there too, or they're wanting to. And yeah, like that move for them was a pretty big one. So
Okay.
We also, and at Swanson Grit in Armstrong, they don't have a place to stay, but my friend lives nearby, so we can always, where I am currently. So, and they have the endurance events, and they're looking at putting on more actual races too. So that's put on by Ryan Cook, and they have a gym now. They expanded their gym, but they also have the ranch that they do the events on, acres and acres and acres. And yeah.
Have you run any races over there, Kathleen?
At Allie's?
Yeah.
Well, that's where I did my 50 miler.
Oh.
That was a heck of a lot of elevation, though.
Oh, did he have you go up the mountainside?
Well, I actually took the Forest Service road at the back of their property. It was like each lap I was doing 1,200 meters of elevation. So twice that. So it was 2.5 kilometers of elevation. That was brutal. Like the first 8 kilometers was just a first grade climb. It was tough. Yeah. I have run I think I did one race there back in the day. Like earlier this year. I don't remember. But I've been at the ranch and I've played there a couple times. And yeah, she does have, I think she has 3 different Airbnbs that she's renting out.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
Do you usually stay the night, or do you go up and then head back home after?
For the 50 miler, I chose to stay the night. They were gracious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did you like just stay in one of her Airbnbs or something?
They were full this year. Yeah. Because everyone is staying local, right? So
yeah.
Every local place right now, or back in summer, is pretty full. And but they offered us one of their RVs to stay at. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so that ended up working out really well. So we got there the day before, and then we just my husband and I did a recon of the course because it was all FSR, and he has a 4x4, and so we basically started where we were supposed to go, make sure that We knew where to meet up and stuff like that. And then slept
Hi, Parlay.
the race, and then I actually got to just crash in the RV right after, and then
Nice.
the following morning. So it worked out really well.
Oh, well, that's good.
But you're right.
How
it
long
would
did it-
be- How long did what?
How long did the 50 miler take you?
13 and a half hours approximately.
Okay.
Wow.
hmm
You crushed it.
Thank you. I felt crushed.
Well, I'm not saying you didn't do well last weekend, but I'm like taking the time that it took you to do that last weekend and then versus that one, you really crushed
I know,
that.
right? It's crazy. Well, the thing is, it was like I said, like if it was trail or gravel, my legs, my body just feels so much better than pavement.
Oh yeah.
And
Pavement brutal for sure.
it's horrible. Like I would do training runs around my place, which is it was all pavement, or like the Richmond Dike, which is gravel. By like the 28th kilometer, I was hurting everywhere. So like the 50 miler, I didn't feel anything. Plus going up and down, like the elevation change actually really helps because you're changing the muscles that you're using, right? Like you're going up, you're using a different set of muscles, and going down. So everything had a really nice break in between.
Yeah, I totally agree with
This one
you.
was just like flat, and you're using the same muscles constantly. It's hard on your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I totally agree with you. It just eats you alive, like
Yes.
between the asphalt and the never-ending flats. It's
Yeah.
like you never get a chance to switch up what muscles you're using.
I think that's the main difference between the 50 miler that I did in summer and this past weekend was, you know, the flat
That
and
the
the
cold.
pavement.
Probably the cold didn't help either though.
That's true, but like, you know, World's Toughest has always been really cold for us.
Yeah.
And I never really experienced anything like that in my joints. Like there'd be like stiffness a couple days after, but after that I was like fine. I was training like the week after, no problem. But this time I'm gonna need a much longer break.
Yeah, we should have added. I should have added some hills in. There are hills. I hate hills, so I avoided them. But we could have.
No, honestly, it was fine, right? Like we didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't know what to expect in terms of how my body was going to react to something like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you learn for next time.
Well, y'all did
yeah.
an awesome job. You killed it. I'm very
Oh,
humbled
thanks.
to be part of it, and thank you all for allowing me to be there and help you guys through and just be part of it. And
And Parlay counts as it. By the way, Parlay also is a finisher because he got his 2 laps in. Parlay got 10 miles. So, you know,
That's true.
well done,
he
Parlay.
technically counts as a finisher because he got 10 miles in. He did 2 laps with me.
We'll make sure we get his name up on the board.
Yeah. I should have registered him. He needs to have a separate division.
Yeah. Well, I know Gavin Wynn. I don't know if you guys know him at all. He's a kid, 13, I think. I don't even remember his age anymore, but he's like super young, and he's been coming out and doing a lot of these tough mudders and stuff recently, and been doing the ultra viruses, and I think he did 50 miles at the virtual World's Toughest, and I think he's even getting his holy grail too. He was able to do a bunch of stuff, and like, you know, it's his first coming into like obstacle course racing, but he's sad because it's probably going to be one of the only ones he's going to be able to do because he's not old enough to go out and do like World's Toughest and whatnot. So he found a little bit of a loophole there to be able to do the virtual one, which was kind of nice. And just seeing him on there and getting it done and whatnot is just, it's amazing as well to see a little kid going out, and his parents are so awesome. I've had a chance to chat with them on some of our calls and whatnot, and they are just so supportive. They drove him like 2 hours out to like this other place that he could go and run around in, and you know, they're like, oh, you need to go somewhere, all right, we'll bring you there. And it's just the support is awesome as well. So he'll be coming up in the scene pretty soon, I think.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you guys want to chat about? I didn't think we were going to go so long, and my battery's down to like 10-15 minutes. So.
Well, it's just been an hour. That's pretty good for a chat.
Oh, for sure. And I have like the reason my battery is running so low is I got the camera, I got my mic, I got another light on it. It's like maybe I should have plugged it in, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't thinking today.
Oh, well.
My day off. I had day off brain, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining me and having a chat. We're trying to get more and more Canadians on our show, so this is awesome. If you guys know anyone that if you think should be on the show, I reached out to everyone else. Richard Bolton definitely didn't want to be part of it. He's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No one else really replied back. So, and there was a couple others that were going to join, but they, it's timing. It's trying to, like I said to everybody, I think once, it's like herding cats, trying to get everyone on a call at a time. And
Yeah.
the thing is more than this, it's tough too, because then everyone's trying to talk over each other. So I think this was perfect. So
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
oh
Yeah, thanks for having us.
problem. Thanks for coming back over again, and we'll see you again soon, I'm sure. So
Oh yeah, for sure. You haven't seen the last of me.
oh good.
Thank you for listening to the BeastNet Canadian Edition podcast.
Please click on subscribe, like us, and feel free to share the podcast with others.
Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify.
We'd also love to hear from you on who or what type of content you'd love to hear on the show on upcoming episodes.
The BeastNet Canadian Edition podcast is proudly brought to you by
Grit Farm Fitness.
Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or at beastnetpod.com.
That's beastnetpod.com.